It is good that you can introduce Dr. Rashmi. Then from there she can take the session.
I think it would be better she does it on her own so that even the participants and the audience can get a good as she does the topics that she's picking up.
Yes, I am going to introduce
way.
myself in the presentation itself. So I think we can do that. I'm just trying to,
Yeah,
I don't think we are going to need the live stream, but I'm just.
I've seen a few sessions myself, so I know.
Okay. So I've started, 1 second, let me start recording. I have started recording, in fact. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen so that we can start with the presentation. Yeah, I hope the screen is visible now. It takes a few seconds usually. Is the screen visible?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm going to start now, and I have made Nikhilesh ji and Renuka co-host. So kindly mute everybody if anybody is on unmute during the talk. So I'm just going to begin by introducing our company, Arna Genetics Solution. This is a global gut health hub, and three of us are co-founders in this company. That's Sujata Gokhale, who is based in India. She used to be in Qatar before. Who looks at the product development, and she's a wellness strategist. Renuka Kelkar here, who is with us, she is looking at the technical side. So a little bit about me. I have a PhD in molecular genetics, master's in microbiology, and I have been in this field of health and wellness for 29 years now. So these are the two books that I've authored recently. This is From Gut to Great. This is about the basics of gut health, how we can improve our gut using very, very simple techniques. This is from a doctor's and a gut health expert's point of view for people who are suffering from gut issues. This one, this was published very recently, is about cracking cancer's code. This is about how gut health is extremely important in each and every stage of cancer, right from how cancer begins, prevention of cancer, and all other stages of cancer. So I've worked on cancer for several years. And after working on cancer for so many years, I realized that instead of focusing on trying to cure something, it is much better to start going to the root cause, which is gut health. So this is for all kinds of diseases. So this took us to the company that we have formed a few years ago, and this took us to providing our services all over the globe. Our services are already in 5 different continents. Our company is registered in India, Singapore, and UK, but I am based in Doha, Qatar. So if you want to see my story, my journey, I just want to ask you, before I talk about my own journey, that how do you choose what you wear? How do you choose what you wear? Do you look at different colors? Do you wear your favorite colors? Do you wear your favorite style? Does it fit you very well? Or are you okay with the same color of clothes, just like everybody else, that are not your size, not your type, not the best color that you actually like? How do you choose your house? Do you like your house to be just like everybody else's? What would it be if everybody lived in the same kind of house? Or do you like something like this, where it is completely personalized to your taste? Don't you like this? This is what we all do, right? How do you choose the products that you're using, the skincare products, the cosmetics, all of the other products? How do you choose them? They are based on gender, they are based on whatever our preferences, the fragrance that we like, and how we feel about using all of those, right? And the food that we eat. Some people like eating really healthy food, some people like eating junk food. This is like totally different taste for different people, isn't it? But when it comes to our health, it's the same medications for everything. For headache, we take paracetamol. For this, we take this. Why is it not personalized? We are in an era where medicines or whatever the medication or treatment can be completely personalized. But when it comes to our health, we don't see that kind of personalization. Don't you think that when we are looking at all of the other things to be hyper personalized, we customize our clothes, we customize our house, we do everything else? Why not treatment? So, this is my story. Now, I have been a very lean person all my life. In fact, I was extremely underweight. I was kind of bullied for being underweight. Little did I know for many years. It was only recently that I found out that I was a lean, fat person. So I began my journey on this gut health by fixing gut health because of all of these issues. I had a lot of cystic acne. I wanted to get rid of the body fat that I had, even though I looked lean. I had migraines when I went out in the sun. I had plantar fasciitis during COVID, which was extremely painful. I had black knuckles in the winter with very dry black skin that was bleeding. So I never really thought of all of these as health issues, right? These don't look like health issues because I was still okay. But once I started fixing my gut health, this is 3 months after this picture was taken, completely cleared up skin, migraine is gone. My body fat percentage came from 30% to 21. Plantar fasciitis went away. This was 4 years ago, or more than 4 years ago. And the black knuckles got completely cured. I have gone through several winters after that without this recurring. And guess what I fixed? Just gut health. I didn't do anything different. I did not apply anything on my skin. I did not use any moisturizer. I did not use any medications. I just used the power of gut health. So, if you want to know what gut health is, we have to look at this picture. Now, when we see this picture, what does this remind you of? What do you think when you see this picture? Is it appealing to you? It looks really disgusting, right? There are roaches here, there's fungus growing on the food, the kitchen is truly disgusting. Would you keep your house like this? I'm sure not, right? But something like this is happening in our gut. It's just that we are not seeing it, it's not visible outside. That's why we don't know that this is happening inside our gut. Our gut is in a very, very bad shape. And you know what happens when it's in a bad shape? When it is like this, it gives rise to all of these things that you are seeing, all kinds of chronic diseases, autoimmune diseases, allergies, asthma, dermatitis, even the food intolerances, mental health issues, loss of productivity, poor concentration, poor memory, recurrent infections. You know, people keep falling sick all the time. I hear it all the time that, oh, I have a viral, I have a flu, I have a cold, I have a cough. Why is it happening so many times? That was not the case. And most people have some chronic disease or the other. They are on some medications or the other. Earlier, a few decades ago, we used to see it only in senior citizens, and that too very rarely. Now we see it even in children. What is the reason for this? Because we all have poor gut health. So if you look at this house, it looks beautiful, right? So I'm sure all of you must be keeping your house like this. But how about we keep our gut in this condition where now we have a clean, happy, healthy gut? Don't you think that is important? Now that we know that the gut should also look like this and it is not looking like this right now, let us figure out what we can do about it. So here, let me introduce you to our superhero who is going to help us bring back gut health, bring back good health, and keep us all in the pinkest of health. It's called our microbiome. That is our superhero. Let me introduce what that microbiome is. So in order to do that, let's go back to who we are. We, in modern medicine, now it has kind of broken down the human body into visible organs, right? Visible organs, as in we think of it as, oh, somebody has heart disease, somebody has lung disease or kidney disease or whatever, as if they are occurring in silos, as if they are separate diseases. But actually, the traditional practices considered the whole body, the mind, and the environment for treating anything or keeping somebody healthy. But now, if we think of the modern scientific literature or even the ancient Indian texts that have a mention of invisible microbes, so there are trillions of microbes that are our invisible organ. They live inside and on our body. And this is what makes us completely human. So this invisible organ, it has more of these microbes or germs than there are cells in our body. And they are extremely important. So what is our invisible organ doing? If we look at this, it's not just what you eat, because many people say that, oh, I eat a very healthy diet. But it's not what you eat, it's what your microbes are doing with what you eat that matters the most. So, what do they do with what you eat, right? We have the microbiome, this collection of microbes or germs all over our body. We have a skin microbiome, we have an oral microbiome, a lung microbiome, so on and so forth. Similarly, we have something called a gut microbiome, which is the largest collection of germs in our body. Do you know how much it is? It weighs 1.5 to 2 kilograms. We have that many germs in our digestive tract. That is called the gut microbiome. So, why should we know about it? Because these are helping us digest the food that we eat. When we eat fiber, fiber is extremely important. We all should eat fiber. We cannot digest the fiber that we eat. The fiber is digested only by the gut bacteria. We call them probiotics or good bacteria. They are also helping us make a lot of vitamins, like the B vitamins. A lot of B vitamins are made by the gut bacteria. And you know how many deficiencies people have. People have vitamin deficiencies, and we keep taking medicines or supplements for those. But do you know that it's a signal that tells our body, oh, you don't need to make any vitamins, I'll just take the supplement. And they don't work. So if you see even mineral absorption, iron deficiency, how many people have anemia, how many people have calcium deficiencies, magnesium deficiency. Why do we have these? Because we don't have the right kind of gut bacteria to help us absorb these minerals. We can keep taking iron all lifelong, or calcium our entire life, and the deficiency will not be resolved. That is because we do not have the right kind of germs to help us absorb them. Only if we fix the gut bacteria or the germs in our gut will we be able to absorb the minerals from the food we eat and make the vitamins that we require. We will also be able to digest the fiber that we need from our diet. They also help in insulin secretion, in regulation of all our hormones, in training our immune system. So, 70% of our immune system is around the gut. And this is where majority of the training happens. The gut microbiome, the germs in our gut are training our immune system. So when this doesn't happen properly, people fall sick, they have infections very easily. When this doesn't happen properly, when there's wrong kind of training, people have autoimmune diseases. When there is incomplete training, the immune system is unable to detect cancer cells. This is the very big reason why there's a surge in cancer cases, because most people have tumor cells floating around in their body, but the immune system cannot detect them. So the gut bacteria or the microbes are also required for strong bones, for muscles, for heart health, and yes, for mental health as well. These are only some of the thousands of functions that our invisible organ performs. Isn't it extremely important? Yet we do not know about this existence. What do we do all day long? Just think about this. We start with disinfectants, spraying disinfectant sprays to kill microbes all over, because we are just conditioned to believe that we need to get rid of all of these microbes or germs. We take antibiotics even without prescription. Many people take antibiotics by themselves, even when they are not required. So there's an overuse of antibiotics, overuse of hand sanitizers, hand soaps and body washes that are antibacterial, antimicrobial toothpastes. When we look at the report of any gut microbiome testing that we do, we see that 80 to 90% of people are resistant to multiple antibiotics. They are even resistant to antimicrobial compounds in the toothpaste. We use antimicrobial hand washes, floor cleaners. So, what do you think is happening to our microbiome? Did our ancestors use any of these? Just imagine how rich their microbiome must have been and what our microbiome must be looking like. So we have an incomplete invisible organ. And this explains majority of the chronic diseases that people are suffering from right now, including many of the children. So how does this translate to disease? When we know that the immune system is being trained by the microbiome, digestion is being done by the microbiome, vitamin synthesis, mineral absorption, and so many other things are required, are the things that the microbiome does. When we all lack a complete microbiome, immunity doesn't, the immune system is not trained properly. We do not have synthesis of vitamins. We don't have digestion of food. There's a lot of inflammation in our body. This is the leading cause of majority of the chronic diseases, even several forms of cancer. That's why there are so many chronic diseases that we see. But a reversal of these diseases, or many of these diseases, is possible if we just fix the gut microbiome, if we just allow the microbiome to recover, and we have the right kind of bacteria that are going to help us do all of the jobs that are required in our body. That's an easy fix, isn't it? So, in this analogy, here we have a very diverse microbiome which has all of the functions that our body requires, and it gives us good health, as you can see here. But now we can see in industrialized and industrializing nations, which are leading to very, very sterile lifestyles, that we are sterilizing everything possible. Our microbiome is so poor that we are not getting any of the functions that it should provide us. That's why we are seeing a surge in cases of all of these and many more chronic diseases. This is what we see. It is called dysbiosis, that is a disturbed biological system, and it is correlated to all chronic conditions. So, how is it related to you? If you have any symptoms of anything, physical, mental, or emotional, these are signs that your gut microbiome is probably damaged. So your gut is actually speaking, but are you listening to it? It might be chronic constipation, acidity, gas, bloating, headaches, skin issues, hair fall, low energy, brain fog, low productivity, food intolerances, allergies, anxiety, anger, poor sleep. So you can see that these look like extremely unrelated things, right? But they are all because of poor gut health. It can cause even weight gain or weight loss. Many people have weight gain and they try so many different things, but they just hit a plateau and they do not lose weight. That is because the gut microbiome is not allowing them to lose weight. So, if there are any of these symptoms, there are these top 5 things that most people do to sabotage gut health. And the intention is always right. But there's just not the right kind of information in order to achieve good health. So, how many of these are you making? You can look at this, that everybody's intention is right, but the nutrition is still poor. We all say that, oh, I am eating a very healthy diet. Then, can we explain why so many people have so many symptoms if the nutrition is right? Our food looks kind of like this. This is what we are giving our children, this is what we are eating, and it is extremely unbalanced. All of these meals are very carbohydrate rich, and they are giving us empty calories. They are not giving us the right kind of nutrition. In fact, we should be looking at all of these. So, where are all of these in our diet that were present in our ancestral diet, or whatever meals or thalis we might call them? If we look at this, this is a rainbow diet. All of these color groups of plant-based foods provide different phytonutrients that are amazing for our health, that are amazing for a good, diverse microbiome. Where are the fermented foods in our diet that provide us with live microbes, lean protein, a diversity of millets, grains, lentils, and cereals, uh, nuts, healthy fats? We are missing out on all of these wonderful nutrients and eating one pot meals that are absolutely non nutritive. If we even look at the body clock, this was the traditional way of eating. If we look at the body clock in gray and the metabolic fire in red, the dotted line, the food intake was only during the daytime for our ancestors, right? The microbiome is usually different during the day and at night. It can help us digest food only during the daytime. It changes at night. So, when our ancestors ate food during these daylight hours, what happened is everything was in sync. Their food was digested properly. They got all the nutrients from what they were eating and they were in good health. But now, what we are doing, food is available 24/7. Light is available 24/7. Children are ordering from apps even at 2 a.m. because we give them access. We are eating way past the time where our body and the microbiome is capable of digesting food. Now, the microbiome says, you know what, I'm not going to digest your food because it cannot. So everything goes out of sync. We have undigested toxic metabolites in our body. The microbiome is damaged beyond belief. And this gives rise to majority of the diseases, infections, poor overall health. So this is something that many people do. Even children go from extracurricular activity to another and they eat dinner very late and then go to sleep directly after that without ever digesting the food properly. The second very common thing we see is over or under exercising. So people go to the gym. It is very good to go to the gym, but what they do is they do not condition the heart. They directly go for weights. It's a very unbalanced kind of exercise that a lot of people are doing, especially young people. And now we are seeing young people dying of heart attacks because their nutrition doesn't match the exercise. They're taking supplements and their conditioning, the heart conditioning is not matching. Or we have the other extreme, which is a very sedentary lifestyle. So both of these are extremely poor for gut health, extremely bad for gut health, and we are doing either of those. The third thing that we often see is people are neglecting the mind. Yes, we do hear that, oh, I have started meditating, I've started this, but are you really taking care of the stress? So I want to show you something interesting here. If you look at this picture, you might think that, whenever we ask people, what do you think of this image? They say that, oh, it's so cute. But did this idea thing cross your mind that how is this mouse on top of a cat's head? This is not an AI generated image, by the way. So the reason it's here is because it is infected. It is infected by a germ called toxoplasma. So what this germ does is it changes the behavior of this mouse to uh, to actually get instead of getting scared of cats, it is now attracted to the smell of cat urine. And now what it does, it goes to the cats. The cat eats the mouse, and the life cycle of toxoplasma is completed in the cat. The reason for telling this example or giving this example is because just imagine one kind of germ is changing the behavior of this mouse, and it is so detrimental that it kills itself. It ends up getting killed. So think about what trillions of microbes are doing in your gut. Aren't they influencing your decisions? Aren't they changing your thoughts? Aren't they actually doing something to influence your thoughts? What do you think is happening in your gut? When we talk about gut feelings, our gut is the second brain. It influences our mood, it influences our well being. The feelings that we have are not just coming from our brain, they are also coming from our gut, because the gut microbiome is producing all of these wonderful chemicals called neurotransmitters that impact what we feel. So the dopamine that we have is not just made in our brain, it is also made by our gut microbiome. It makes us feel rewarded, but it also controls a lot of other processes in our body. GABA is a calming hormone. It's like a brake on our nervous system. So if people are feeling anxiety, if children are not able to calm down, that is because they are not making enough GABA, because they have a poor gut microbiome. So any of these feelings, or an imbalance of feelings, imbalance of emotions, or mental health can be explained by an imbalance in these neurotransmitters. Serotonin is our happiness hormone. It is the only thing that gives us this feeling of happiness. And 95% of it is made by our gut microbiome. So we can own anything that we want in the world, but we can still be unhappy if we do not have serotonin. And you know what? It also controls digestion. So without digesting food properly, we cannot be happy. This is made into melatonin, our sleep hormone. So again, this is very interesting. This is like a stop sign on our on digestion and eating. So this helps us fall asleep. It makes us drowsy. If we don't have a good gut microbiome, we are not going to have good emotions, good digestion, and good sleep. The love hormone, or the bonding hormone, is also modulated by the gut microbiome. So you will see that children do not feel this feeling of being this bonding. Everybody is looking at their cell phones even when they are with their friends. This is probably because they're lacking oxytocin, because they have a poor gut microbiome. So the behavior that we have in ourselves, in our children, can be explained by a lack of these. The fourth thing that we commonly see is wrong sources of happiness. Like we are trying to be happy, we are trying to keep our children happy, we don't want to give them time. So, what do? We try to reward them. We think this is a reward with junk food, with digital devices, but this is actually a punishment. These are empty calories that are going to damage their microbiome and set the tone for an unhealthy life, for many chronic diseases later on. This is how a group of kids look like now. They're all on their devices and they're all reducing their dopamine levels, putting them at risk for many chronic diseases. And we give an excuse by saying that, oh, we have a priority, we have a deadline, we don't have time to exercise. But what are we doing this for is a question that we really need to ask ourselves. Isn't our health the most important thing that we should focus on? These are our priorities, and we really need to focus on our health first. The fifth very important thing that we see is social connections and community. Now, socializing is great for the microbiome. We exchange microbes with other people. So, socializing with the right people can actually help us improve our microbiome significantly. But the excuse that a lot of people give is this, that, whenever we are socializing, whenever I visit anybody, I see that I am offered very unhealthy food. And when I ask about it, I hear this, that if I don't serve unhealthy food, nobody will visit me. And that's an excuse that I often hear. And I like to change it. I like to invite people to my house, give them healthy food, and show them this is how it is done. So we can be a leader in this. We can choose healthy food. We can show other people that, yes, it can be done in an interesting way by not choosing unhealthy stuff. So, how many of these are you making? Do you have the right intention but still poor nutrition? What are you doing about exercise? Are you neglecting your mind? Do you have a lot of stress? Are you doing these things that are wrong sources of happiness? Do you have the connection and community that is working for you? So, one very important thing I want to mention here is this is an amazing set of experiments done by several researchers world over. These are many experiments that are done on germ free mice. So, what do I mean by that? These mice were bred in germ free or sterile conditions for many, many generations. They have never seen germs in their own life. And these are they have a very compromised immune system. They fall sick very easily and they have all of these issues going on. So, when scientists transferred stools or feces from a normal individual to the intestines of these germ free mice, they remained normal, they remained the same, nothing changed. When they transferred these from an individual who was obese, the mice became obese. When the stools were transferred from a diabetic individual, the mice became diabetic. So, no matter which condition the stools were taken from, that condition was replicated in the mice just by transferring the gut microbiome. I'll let that sink in for a minute. Can you imagine that just transferring germs from somebody's gut can actually make the mice have the same condition? This can be autism, this can be Alzheimer's, it can be Parkinson's, it can be anything. This can be anything. And the mice will start displaying the signs of the same condition where the stools came from. So, this technique is called fecal microbiota transplant. So, scientists are actually using this by taking stools from a normal individual and transferring it to an individual that has some kind of a condition to try and treat it. And it has some really good results. So, this is very important. We know that our microbiome is an extremely important organ in our body, and most of us have a very poor, very less diverse microbiome. So, it's like our house is very dirty. Now, imagine you want to build the city of Nairobi. You are going to require a lot of people, and those people will have to be of different professions. If I ask you all whatever profession you are following, it must be very different. But now think of this, there are only very few people here who want to build a city, and they are saying, oh, I will just be a doctor or an engineer, I don't want to do any of the other professions. Do you think these people will be able to build a city like Nairobi? The same thing is happening in our gut. We have very few germs. We have very few types of germs and very few in numbers. So we are not getting the entire functions that our body requires. This is what is happening. Our microbiome diversity is very low, and that is the case for most of us, 99% of us. But if we want our body to be healthy, to be happy, we need a very high diversity of good kind of germs that are called probiotics. So this is like now the city has many people in it, and they are saying that, oh, one is a farmer, there's a pilot, there's a lawyer, there's a teacher, there's a grocer, there's an engineer, there's a doctor. We have all kinds of professions here. Now you see how the city is going to be built, and it will run like a well-oiled machine. The same thing happens in our body when we have the microbiome diversity. When our organ is complete, we can have all of the functions. And this explains why people have all of the symptoms that they have right now. It is stemming from poor gut health. So, what can we do about it? We have poor gut health, most of us do, and this can be repaired in very simple ways. So, we just need more germs in our lives. By germs, I mean better types of germs, really good germs that are giving us the right kind of functions. We do not need bad bacteria. We need the good ones that are called probiotics. We need more of them in numbers, and we need more types of them. So, how can we achieve them? Before this talk, if I asked you, what do germs do? The answer that I would get in most cases is that, oh, they cause disease, they cause infections. But now, if I ask you, what do germs do? This collection of germs, our invisible organ, is actually our protective armor against all kinds of chronic diseases, including even cancers. People who have a very good immune system, who have a very good microbiome, have trained their immune system in such a way that it is able to detect and kill cancer cells before they become big enough to form the cancers that we know of. So, this is why it is so important. What can we do to have a microbiome friendly lifestyle? This is very simple. Outdoor activities. We are just like all other animals who are outside, and they have been following the same lifestyle, same diet, same everything for millions of years. Only humans have changed what we do. So we need to focus on outdoor activities. It helps improve the microbiome diversity. A diverse rainbow diet is amazing for the microbiome. Deep breathing practices to balance the amount of oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nitric oxide is amazing for the microbiome. Meditation is again has been shown scientifically to improve the diversity of the microbiome. Socializing, as I said, socializing with the right kind of people helps you improve the diversity of the microbiome. Hydrating is extremely important. Consuming fermented foods. Now, by fermented foods, I don't mean the idli, dhokla, and dosa, because even though they are fermented, they are cooked after the process of fermentation. So, although they are nutritionally good, they are not providing us with the live germs. So, by fermented foods, I mean things that have live microbes like yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi, ambali, kanji. These are the ones that have live microbes, and they colonize the gut. They know how to digest the food that you are eating. Consuming fiber rich foods is amazing for the microbiome if we consume different kinds of fibers. So, including 30 different kinds of plant based foods in every week is extremely enriching for the microbiome. At least 150 minutes of exercise every week is very beneficial for the microbiome, in addition to the 10,000 steps. So 10,000 steps is not the same as exercise. This is in addition to the walking. So getting good sleep for 7 to 9 hours is again extremely important for the microbiome. Aren't these some very easy tips to improve the microbiome? Once we have a rich, diverse microbiome, it's like a complete organ. Now it will give us the vitamins we need, the minerals we need, the fiber is digested properly. And once we have all the nutrition that we require, why would our body protest? Why would it rebel and start showing all of the symptoms that we see very commonly? So, for people who are not able to do this on their own, we have a proven patented 360 degrees approach where we have a program called Shatayushi that has been patented. We have received a patent last year from the government of India, where this is a fully customized program where people can achieve their specific health goals by getting a personalized diet plan, tailored exercise, mindfulness practices, in-house meditations, different meditations for every week, a gut reset, healthy habit formation, and sustainable results from 4 different experts for 12 weeks. So, this is for gut health, for nutrition, fitness, and mindfulness. And there is one more thing that is extremely important here. Now, you might say, how do I know if my microbiome is healthy or not? That is where we personalize everything. The previous program was also completely personalized. When all our other choices are so personalized, why is health not personalized? It is possible to do that. It has been possible for many, many years now. So, this is something that can be done. We can get personalized insights and precision healing by doing microbiome testing, by testing or checking the quality of the microbiome. So, we cannot fix the missing piece in the puzzle if it is not tested. So, you might think that how come the lab tests that doctors do or whatever pathology labs are doing do not tell us what is missing in the gut? This is because these lab tests do not focus on getting this kind of information. They are just not detailed enough, they are not targeted enough to tell us any information about gut health or the microbiome. So they don't tell us the full story. And people who take probiotics on their own do not know which probiotics they are missing. So they are not personalized and they may not work in the same way. So true healing actually requires what is it that we are missing? Why our gut is inflamed? What are the bacteria that are overgrown? Without this, it's like trying to fix a car without actually opening the hood and figuring out. So we can't fix what we cannot measure. Every gut is unique, and this one size fits all, there's no such diet that is suitable for everyone, there's no exercise that is suitable for everyone, there's no lifestyle that is suitable for everyone. It is different for different people. So this test identifies what is the missing, what are the missing species, if there are infections in people, if there are imbalances, and this reveals digestive, metabolic, and immune health for people. So let me give you an example. We had somebody, a 40-year-old lady, who came to us with severe IBS. So this is when she came to us, she had really painful, her abdomen used to pain a lot. She was not able to eat anything that she wanted. She had all kinds of food intolerances, and she was suffering from IBS for 20 long years. She had done all kinds of testing and still she couldn't figure out what happened. So after she did the microbiome test, we were able to figure out that she had an infection that was not detected by lab testing. And it was a very simple infection, very easy to treat. But nobody knew that she had this kind of an infection. And she had a very poor diversity of the microbiome. It was a negative score. If you look at the list of probiotics that she was missing, the list was very long. She was missing all of these probiotics. And she had this infection in her gut. This is a very simple infection to detect by lab tests, but we need to know what to look for. So, because it was not known, she could not be cured for 20 long years. And once she did this test, she was able to fix it and reverse her IBS. And she was able to eat whatever she wanted. So, in this way, now this is her report where you see that in this green table, you can see the probiotic strains or the good bacteria that are there in her gut. It's a very short list. She hardly had anything before. If you look at the list of bacteria or the microbes that are missing in her gut, look at the list. That's very, very long. You compare that to a healthy individual. Look at the long list of probiotics this lady has, who had no health issues. It's much longer, right? But even this healthy person had some probiotics missing. So, this case of IBS, we were able to give her the personalized probiotics and give her the treatment for curing that infection, for treating this infection. 6 months later, she informed us that she was able to eat whatever she wanted. She could drink tea after 20 years. She could never even dream of that before. So she was extremely grateful to have her IBS completely reversed just by doing a comprehensive gut microbiome test. So this test also tells us the status of the gut, whether the vitamins are being made, whether short chain fatty acids are being made. So these short chain fatty acids are wonderful chemicals made by the gut microbiome that are required for good gut health and good overall health. So another example is this. I told you that our feelings are actually chemicals, many of them made by our gut microbiome. So there was a lady who came to us with severe digestive and mental health issues. She was even suicidal. When we looked at her neurotransmitter levels, we saw that many of these were non-ideal. So again, just by this gut microbiome testing, we were able to figure out why she had her mental health issues and why she had her digestive issues. Only after taking the probiotics and following the dietary recommendations that we gave, in 2 months, she sent us this wonderful message that she was already feeling better and all of her issues were resolved. She was extremely happy. So this is the power of just focusing on gut health, either with testing, without testing, doing the comprehensive the program that we have, or by yourself. The thing to do is to focus on gut health. So this test also tells us about the disease risk that people are having, whether they are at risk for leaky gut, obesity, sleep disorders, depression, anxiety, just based on the microbiome, based on gut health. So this is what happens when you fix your gut health. If we have any symptoms of anything, that means we need to transform health from the inside out. If there are skin issues, many people focus on applying topical ointments and things like that instead of focusing on why we have this acne or chronic cystic acne or pimples on the face. Hair issues also, people apply shampoos without actually thinking that why is the hair not healthy, because it is not receiving the nutrition that it requires from the gut, and for all kinds of chronic diseases. So when this is fixed, when this is transformed, we can see clear skin, balanced hormones, strong immunity, calm mind. We respond much better to stress. We have better sleep, sustained energy, freedom from all of the digestive issues, much better metabolism, improved focus, improved mood. And the best part is a much lower risk of all kinds of chronic diseases, even infertility, PCOS, autoimmune diseases, and cancers. So, isn't this something that we all should do by ourselves or with some kind of help? The things that are required to fix gut health are extremely simple. Just do what our ancestors did. If we look at the traditional practices, they are all extremely gut friendly. So, these are the services that we offer in order to improve gut health. The things that we do are outreach and webinars. We do webinars for all kinds of chronic diseases. So, what I talked about today was basic gut health 101. But we also do similar webinars for diabetes, for cancers, for autoimmune diseases, for skin, hair health, and for all kinds of chronic conditions. We have human microbiome courses for people, professionals, and students in all disciplines of life science, nutrition, medicine, for doctors, so that they can learn what gut health is and how to improve patient outcomes. We have our patented wellness programs, comprehensive gut microbiome testing, personalized probiotics that are made according to what people are missing. Because if you are taking something you already have, it is not going to work. The other important thing in taking probiotics is that we can take all probiotics we want, but if we don't fix the environment in our gut, the probiotics are not going to stay in the gut. They are not going to work because they should be happy living in that gut. If it is not healthy, they will not stay there. We have consultations for optimized gut health, personalized nutrition, fitness, wellness, mental wellness, and Ayurveda. And we also have our in-person retreats. If you would like to speak to us about any of your health conditions or concerns, you can scan this QR code to book a free 30-minute clarity call with me. So this is what we are offering. If you have any condition, any concerns, or any questions about what I talked about today, or anything else, or any specific conditions, you can please feel free to ask. This is the feedback form. This is a QR code for the feedback form. We have a lot of information on our social media, on Microbiome Superhero, on Facebook, on Instagram. There are 2 handles on Instagram, and YouTube channel. We have a lot of podcasts related to many things, like how we can improve the outcome of diabetes or thyroid or mental health conditions, and a lot of other issues on our YouTube channel, which is Microbiome Superhero. And this is our website, microbiomesuperhero.com. So if you have any questions so far, I would be very happy to answer. If you have any specific questions about any specific conditions, you can go ahead, unmute yourself, switch on the webcam.
I have some questions here.
Yes.
I'm Chandravanshi Murkar. I'm 70 years old,
Okay.
and I have the problem of what you call digestive system, and
Okay.
always bloating, also bloating,
Okay.
acidity and gases. But acidity I control by taking the normal food. I don't like the junk food or other food also.
Okay.
So I take normally to maintain my health, gut health, but still, actually, sometimes I'm feeling my stomach is bloating, like heaviness always.
Okay.
Okay, another thing, I do the exercise in the morning, like walking and stretching, on top of to manage my health, specifically the
Okay.
gut. That is the issue is coming, and
Okay.
gases also it happens
Okay.
many times. What I
Okay.
do, what I do actually for that, I don't take other type of food. I avoid that. I just take the dal, roti, chawal, and all these type of things, and the
Okay.
curd. But still, I'm feeling that same thing is continuing.
Yes.
So that is actually my condition.
Okay. So this is very, very common, what you have mentioned, like bloating, acidity, gas, constipation, all of these issues are extremely common and they are because of poor gut health. So if we don't have the right kind of bacteria in the gut that are required to digest the food that you are eating, it is digested incorrectly or incompletely. So the products that are made are completely different and they are not normal. The other thing that happens is that we have this misconception that because we are eating homemade food, it is healthy. It is unfortunately not healthy because we are all eating a very carb heavy meal all the time. Carbohydrates are very high in our diet, protein is very low, healthy fats are very low. So, all of this imbalance actually causes the microbiome to be very compromised. That is a big reason why people have all of these chronic issues. The other thing is that now we think that we are eating rotis, our ancestors were eating, I mean, at least our grandparents and whatever were eating rotis, but the wheat that they were eating was very different. That had only 3% gluten approximately. The wheat that we are eating, or any other produce for that matter, it's all genetically modified. It is selected for certain purposes. The wheat is selected for making bread softer. It is not selected for making us healthy. So it's a completely different wheat that we are eating. This is one reason why we are not getting the kind of nutrition that our parents or grandparents were getting from even similar kind of food. This is why people are falling sick more easily because we are just not digesting the food in the right way. So the thing to do here is to focus your gut health either through microbiome testing is a very good way of doing it, or at least with personalized nutrition and fixing the lifestyle. That is definitely extremely helpful in reducing whatever symptoms you have and improve your digestion.
One more observation, if suppose in the night, suppose I take the light food or I don't take the food sometime,
Yes.
then whole night I feel very, very, very good.
Okay.
No problem. Actually, early morning also I feel the very, very fresh. But I
Okay.
take something in the night, then I feel in the morning very lethargic.
Okay.
That could happen actually. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So,
Yeah.
Dr. Rashmi, what's your advice to Mr. Chirmurkar?
So for
Does he have one more session with you?
Yes. So whoever wants to book a clarity call with me, you can scan the QR code. I'll just put it up again so that you can scan the QR code and book a clarity call. So if anybody has any other questions, I would be happy to answer them. Because once we understand what gut health is and that we are not getting proper digestion of food because we don't have the right kind of microbes, it doesn't matter how healthy the food is. You might be eating extremely healthy food, but if you don't have the right kind of microbes to digest that healthy food, it's not healthy for you anymore. So what I want to highlight here is that when we see microbiome testing reports, nearly all of our clients say that my diet and my lifestyle is extremely healthy. But when we see the report, it's like a report card of what they are doing. And we see the microbiome is extremely poor, which means that whatever they are doing is definitely not healthy. It is not suiting them. Their idea of healthy is incorrect, unfortunately. So that's what is happening. If we want to look at this slide here, just let me show this about the probiotics. It is a very important slide and we keep seeing it over and over and over again. That when we look at the probiotics, many people say that, oh, I've been taking probiotics for such a long time. We saw a very classic case. There was a lady who came to us who had been taking a multi-strain probiotic for a very long time, for more than 6 months. When we did her microbiome testing, we did not see any of those strains from that probiotic, and it's a very good quality probiotic. We did not see any of them in this green list, in this list of probiotics that are present in her gut. We did not see any of them. Why? Do you know why that is? That is because the gut was not healthy. The environment was not right. The food that she was eating was not supporting the microbiome, the probiotics that she was taking. The stress in her life was too much. Her lifestyle and her diet were extremely unhealthy. So it did not matter what probiotic supplements she took. Her gut microbiome clearly showed that the probiotics that she was taking did not establish at all in her gut. This is the reason why there is absolutely no use of taking probiotic supplements without knowing what is missing in the gut and without fixing the environment where these probiotics are going to live. So that is one very important thing I want to say about probiotics, because most people think that they are like a magical thing. We can take probiotics and feel better. It doesn't happen that way.
Dr. Rashmi, there are some people are not talking, but they are doing a chat. They have sent some messages.
Okay.
Can you see that and answer?
Yes. So is testing available in Kenya? Right now, it's not, because this is the first time we are offering, we are doing a webinar in Kenya. So we are offering it in India. In Qatar also, I live in Qatar. So people who want to do testing, usually when they go to India, they do the testing there. We are offering it in UK and India right now. So Kenya is something that we are definitely considering, but we don't offer it right now. We do offer our Shatayushi wellness program though, because it is online. It is completely online. It is offered everywhere in the world. We have already offered it in many different places. So
Some other questions
Tasneem
we have
yes,
seen.
Tasneem has asked about allergy. Allergies are also because of improper training of the immune system, because the immune system is not functioning correctly. It is attacking things that it should actually not be attacking. So when people have allergies, that indicates that the immune system training is not happening properly. And that is because of a poor microbiome. So once we fix the microbiome or we fix gut health, allergies should also reduce by themselves. So without doing anything about the allergy, just fixing gut health is going to help with, reversing that.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is the cost of this microbiome testing?
Yes, so the microbiome testing is in India. It's 8,000, but for December we have it for 6,500 rupees, and it is in any city in India. So when people order it in India, the kit is shipped to their address. So the shipping, two-way shipping is also included in the charges, and one consultation after the report is generated. It takes it takes approximately 2 weeks for the report to be generated after the sample reaches the lab, because it's a very extensive 40-something page report. So that report has dietary recommendations for 3 months. So that includes 2 weeks of detox, 8 weeks of probiotic phase, where we recommend the probiotics that people should take, and 2 more weeks of maintenance. So if people opt for personalized probiotics, that's a separate charge, of course, and that takes additional 2.5 weeks to be made.
Thank you.
So that is what we do. But all other consultations and everything else, all our wellness programs are all online. Even the fitness sessions are online. We have them completely personalized. The testing is available anywhere in India. It doesn't matter where people are.
I have a question.
Yes. Yes, Priya.
How do we, I know since once you go through the clarity call, like you'll be able to guide people specific to their case. But
Yes.
if we go home with one thing now, what are there any superfoods that help with detox and cleansing or improving the gut microbiome? Like say top 5 foods, or is it depending on case to case? What
It
would you
depends on
recommend?
case to case. It depends on case to case. But if you look at general gut health, fiber is number one, rainbow diet. And it's not just diet. I'm not going to say diet is the only thing. Lean protein, healthy fats, fermented foods. Those are my top five. And a very high diversity of all kinds of plant based foods. That is extremely enriching for the microbiome. But if you look at somebody who has IBS or digestive disorders, they are not going to tolerate many of these foods. So if I say these
Yeah,
are my top five superfoods, they might not be superfoods for somebody like Mr.
yeah.
like Chirmurkarji, because he has digestive issues. So he will have to start with something else and then reach this top five. He cannot start with
Mm,
these top five directly, because fermented
mm,
foods are not tolerated well for people who have digestive issues. They have to start really slow. And then once they have an establishment of a good microbiome, it is relatively stable, then they can increase the frequency. And then, so if you talk about top five for healthy individuals who do not have major symptoms, these are my top five that I focus on personally. And we always recommend these for people for keeping themselves healthy.
I see, I see. So then after you do the gut microbiome test, do you then find out like what foods may not be suitable for you?
So the way the gut microbiome test works is that it is going to give people a list of ingredients. So it's not a diet plan. It's dietary recommendation. So the microbiome test will tell people which are the foods that are best for you, for your gut, that you need right now. You may not need those foods 3 months later after your gut is fixed. But in order to fix your gut, what are the foods that you need for the next 3 months? Because when people do
Mm,
this test and when they follow the dietary recommendations, so the dietary recommendations are given in a way like this. For example, if you want to eat cucumber, it will tell you in phase one, you can eat cucumber maybe once every day if you would like to eat it. You can choose not to eat it, but that is the maximum allowed frequency. So that is very beneficial for your microbiome. If you see that it is allowed every single day, that is very beneficial. If you see some foods are removed, like meat, alcohol, dairy, sugars, and processed foods are completely removed in the first 2 weeks because they are highly inflammatory. The rest of the foods are given at a frequency of, oh, you can eat these things once a day, or once in 2 days, or once in 3 days. So anything that is allowed once a day is very good for repairing your microbiome. So people tend to focus on
okay,
those foods. And
okay.
then we
The
also
last
recommend
question is,
which probiotic you need to take. That is the best match for you.
so that was leading up to my last question, is
Okay.
what is the balance between supplements in probiotic supplements and foods that help your gut microbiome in the solution? What is the balance? Is it more food oriented, or there is a
It is
significant
both.
part of
No, it is
supplements?
both. It is both.
Okay.
We cannot do without either of those, because just like I told you, this lady who came to us, if I actually looked at her report, I would recommend her a particular generic probiotic. If she didn't want personalized, I would recommend a generic probiotic that was the best match for her. But when I asked her, she was already taking the same probiotic for the last 6 months and it did
Mm,
nothing to her. Her gut health was poor. The probiotics did not show up in her report. So I said, explain to me why you don't have these probiotics, because somebody else advised her to take it. So I said, let me know. Tell me why they are not in your gut. If you think they are beneficial, they should be in this report, and they are not. So this is why the food and the environment is also extremely important. So we recommended her to have a stress-free life, to focus on reducing stress, to include meditations, to include breathing practices, to include a lot of other things, so that her lifestyle becomes such that supports the growth of these probiotics, so that they live in her gut happily. Just taking the supplement is not enough. Just eating the foods is not enough, because those bacteria are not there, those probiotics are not there. So both have to go hand in hand. And this is the missing link. When people take probiotics randomly, this is the missing link. This is what most people don't know about. That they should take what is missing in their gut, not some random probiotic.
Correct. All right. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
When will the testing be available in Kenya?
When will it be available in Kenya? We would love to offer it in Kenya, but yeah, so this is our first interaction. We would definitely love to take it forward. Let's see how that goes.
Last question, doctor. Is it available, this testing in India?
Yes, it's available everywhere in India.
How I can contact them?
You can book it from our website. I'll share the link for the website, and it will arrive on the address, whatever you give, in a couple of days.
Okay.
And then there's a number that needs to be called, and they come to collect the sample. It's not a time sensitive sample, because we are looking for DNA, not the stool itself. So there's nothing to get spoiled or whatever. So this is the link for the testing, for microbiome testing.
So can we get it from India and then to Kenya and then send it back?
If you are able to do that, you can. But we have tried. I mean, we have not tried shipping in Kenya, but we have tried doing it for Qatar, and it's extremely difficult because of how much time it takes and the regulations in Qatar. It has just not worked out so far. But people take it with themselves and they bring it back. So it's a risk that people take themselves. So people do that.
Rashmi, what
Maybe-
message they are trying to convey to you is that you should open an office here also.
Yes, we want to. We definitely want to. It's all up to you. We know that.
Not me. You see, I was
It's
because
all up to Vinod.
I work very closely. Vinod Bhai knows that. I work as a director for Hindu Council for the
Yes.
Health Directorate.
Yes.
So because I handled that, and for last 10 years, I'm doing the service and seva to the community here,
Yes.
our Hindu community, in terms of health. So, and Dr. Vinod has been very instrumental and my helping hand for me. And therefore, we are trying to do that. But I wish if you can at least come physically once and take a session, we can arrange.
I can do that. It's a short, it's a short flight from here. I can do
and
that.
then from there,
Definitely.
I don't know whether Vinodji is there or Vinod Bhai, you are there or you left?
No, he's here.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, I know, because you cannot leave me alone, huh?
Of course
So,
not. No, and
so I was
it's easy for her. It's easy for her. There's no
Yeah.
staying cost. There's no coming in. Or it's
Yeah,
only
so I
coming
was
and
just
going
thinking
cost.
that
also
no,
she can get
yeah,
complimented.
because there are so many of us who have who will be happy to have you at our home. That's not an issue. Yeah, and then we can have a session here. And then maybe if you do a market research or whatever that you feel like it will be worth for you to open a small branch office kind of, and where you can have this testing done, perhaps that will be a great thing for our community here.
We would
Africa,
definitely
we are
love to do that.
health-wise, we are very
Yes.
poor.
Yes.
Because like India, when Kenya was also colonized, so we still believe that pizza, burger is the best food.
This is what we are trying to reverse. So I will tell you just a brief background. I don't want to take too much of anybody's time, but I have provided, seriously, this is gut health 101. There is so much information that we can provide That is nutritionally the kind of mistakes people make. What are the common misconceptions people have? Like, we think this is healthy, palak paneer is healthy, but nobody realizes that mixing palak and paneer actually is damaging to the nutritional constituents of it. There are many things like that, that there are so many misconceptions about what we eat. So this was a short, idea of what kind of work we do, but we do something a lot more specific for all kinds of chronic diseases. And we also volunteer for an organization, Renuka, myself, and Sujata, called Global Indian Scientists and Technocrats Forum. It's a platform that is for Indian diaspora to contribute to the betterment of Bharat. So we have been working with that, and I'm the lead coordinator of Ahar Kranti, which is a nationwide movement for better nutritional awareness and solutions. Renuka and Sujata are working with the education vertical of the same. So we do all of these awareness campaigns. We have been doing them for several years, and we want to improve. So we try to tell people that why are we looking to the West for everything? If we look at our own festivals, now I was amazed when I thought about this. As a child, I used to ask my parents, "Oh, why are we doing this for any particular festival?" And they could not tell me any scientific reason for the same. But now, as a scientist, when I look at the same things, I actually am able to figure out why these things were done. In Sankrant, for example, in Maharashtra, people make bhogi chi bhaji, which is mixed vegetables that are seasonal, that are multicolored. So we are following the rainbow diet. We are eating millet rotis with that, exchanging seasonal fresh fruits like sugarcane and the berries, the jujube berries, with other people. So we are socializing. We are doing all kinds of things that are enriching for the microbiome, exchanging magnesium and calcium rich laddus, the Tilgul laddus. So magnesium is required for calcium absorption. And then what do? We go and fly kites outdoor. That increases vitamin D levels in the body. It increases calcium absorption in the body. So everything that we do for that festival is amazing for the microbiome. And we can think of many such examples in our traditional practices that are very, very, very beneficial. If we look at the American diet, it's called the SAD, or the standard American diet, which is extremely high in empty calories, extremely low in nutrition. And you see that in their health. You see the health outcome that most people
Why
are on
they
some
call it
medication.
sad.
Yes,
It
that
is
it
sad
is sad.
actually.
It is sad. Their health is sad. So we need to actually bring back our roots. We are doing a lot of podcasts to bring back our ancient traditional practices. The fermented foods that we have. Dr. Jyoti Prakash Tamang, who is in, I think, one of the universities in Northwestern in Sikkim, he has published a huge anthology of, I think, thousands of international recipes, including Indian, of fermented foods. I had never even heard of these, but these were practiced, these were made in all households in India earlier. We have a rich tradition that we have all forgotten. If we just make
Thanks,
those
thanks a
fermented
lot, Dr.
foods
Rashmi.
regularly.
Yeah, it's already 9:30 here.
Yes,
I believe it will be a lot of people. I can see the elderly people are there. They
yes.
must be planning to sleep early.
Okay.
But thanks a lot. Dr. Vinod, thanks a lot for connecting me with Dr. Rashmi and the whole team. And we will communicate further one to one with her and the team. Renuka is there in London. We'll see what is the best time. You see, majority of the Kenyan, Indian stay in UK.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, majority.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
I know
know,
that. Yeah.
even Rishi Sunak is having parents from Kenya and
Yeah,
Tanzania
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it will be a great thing, I believe. We'll do that, and till the time things start happening officially from your side, Dr. Rashmi, you can appoint us as your volunteer here, so that at least we'll start doing a bit of marketing, and we are trying to we start doing some small podcast here and there in camps, so that maybe people will realize the importance of this, and maybe we'll plan something when it is suitable for you to come and visit this country.
Yes, we'll definitely work on that. And that is something that we are really interested in. So if anybody has any questions, you can get in touch with us from our website, or through the Clarity call, or Vinod or Nikhilesh ji can definitely help get in touch with us. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining today.
Thank you so much.
Have a good
Thanks.
night.
Vinodji,
Thank you. Bye for now. Yep.
Okay. Bye everyone. Thank you.
bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks
Bye.
a lot.
Thank you. Bye.
Nikhilesh, you can close the session for all.